Katt Williams, Hollywood's truth-telling comedian, is dropping receipts again. And this time he's nomming names in the explosive Diddy scandal that's rocking Tinseltown to its core. The unstoppable force known as Katt Williams strikes once more, serving truth bombs like they're going out of style. This man predicted Diddy's downfall before federal agents raided properties, before the infamous baby oil drama made headlines, and definitely before those handcuffs clicked shut. As we approach year's end, Katt's newest revelation about the disgraced music mogul reads less like gossip and more like prophecy for what's coming in 2025. The revelation emerged yesterday from Katt Williams' explosive GQ interview titled "The Man Who Opened the Portal." Inside, Katt unleashes everything, exposing Hollywood rivalries and serving scalding hot tea on the Diddy situation. This isn't your typical celebrity interview. It's raw, unfiltered truth-telling that sparked conversations and raised serious questions about what else Katt knows that we don't. Here's where it gets strange. The original interview mysteriously disappeared from YouTube, leaving everyone wondering why. What remains are fragmented articles containing transcripts where Katt directly connects Diddy to Tupac Shakur's tragic end. The sudden vanishing act only intensifies speculation, and questions multiply by the hour. His words cut deep. "I don't give a damn what position I find myself in. I don't care how circumstances unfold. If there's a way to expose you, that's my mission. I refuse to watch you walk around freely because you're a demon. Demons wield power, I understand that, but I also know the source of their strength. Quote, cold spiritual warfare rages in the real world, and my job is maintaining focus on that reality." Katt pushed further into Illuminati territory, discussing powerful lobbies pulling strings behind the scenes, treating artists like chess pieces in their twisted game. According to Katt, these shadow organizations specialize in manipulation and exploitation, bending anyone to their agenda without hesitation. SFX, ominous music, the deeper he ventures, the more surreal it becomes. If you possessed resources and genuinely cared about uncovering truth, you could become one of America's most powerful individuals, he explains. That's been my path, discovering why powerful entities hold power, understanding why people get exploited, and tracing the pipeline because everything exists and it's absolutely real. As fallout from Diddy's arrest intensifies, Katt Williams reveals that numerous celebrities have hit the brakes, fleeing to European vacation estates and hidden locations, essentially disappearing to dodge involvement in this catastrophe. Honestly, not surprising, especially after Miami raids uncovered hundreds of tapes potentially implicating Hollywood's elite in serious trouble. Katt claims these recordings reveal far more than uncomfortable situations. They allegedly capture half of Hollywood tangled in seriously questionable freak-offs. Leading the celebrity silence parade is none other than Kevin Hart, Katt's longtime adversary. Zoom in, seems the comedy just got uncomfortably real. "Hey Kevin, when you hosted Diddy's events, did any baby oil come your way?" The footage shows Diddy calling Kevin over. "Kevin, come here. Can you grab some girls so we're surrounded by girls? Let's get girls up here, please." Kevin responds immediately. "First and foremost, I'm not getting in that tub. You're asking the wrong person. Say pause, 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 nothing happening right now." Kevin Hart, like countless others, distances himself from Diddy following the Kalku T-mogul's arrest and federal indictment. When asked if Diddy's safe in jail, Kevin deflects. "Wrong person. The wrong person to ask." Kevin faces scrutiny because of newly resurfaced footage showing him hosting a Diddy hotel party back in 2010. "I'm not jumping in that tub alone. Once everyone leaves, just me and my lady." The camera catches one bikini-clad woman's hair igniting in the hot tub. None of these celebrity guests face accusations of wrongdoing. "That's my brother right here from day one." Hold up. Before examining clips, there's a bombshell revelation. An actor claims to possess video footage potentially exposing everything. Apparently, it captures Kevin Hart and Diddy getting extremely cozy, allegedly sharing intimate moments with the same woman. The footage suggests these two might have been involved in wild, borderline unconventional scenarios. The plot intensifies dramatically. I possess insider information regarding Diddy and Kevin Hart's involvement. I know this because I appeared on a television show with a girl actively dating Diddy then. There I am. Quick online research reveals her identity. This girl was photographed with Diddy throughout 2022 and 2023. Obviously, the cast worried about her because Cassie's lawsuit just dropped before filming commenced. The first filming week coincidentally landed on Valentine's Day. Diddy's girlfriend received an expensive bouquet delivered on Valentine's, but she refused revealing the sender. It's reality television, so drama naturally erupted. Diddy's girlfriend decided leaving the house for 1 week. SFX. Dramatic pause. My friend and I decided breaking into her room to redecorate for show purposes, playing along with manufactured drama. We were shocked discovering what we found. The flowers came from Diddy. Love, Puff. This sent my girlfriend spiraling. As a woman, she felt terrified that Diddy possessed our address. She expressed her feelings to the girl and returned the card where found. The girl informed Diddy about what happened, then Diddy threatened production. Diddy's girlfriend started screaming at my girlfriend, claiming Diddy would sue her over what she wrote on the note, worried we'd discuss this disturbing situation on our television show. The fact he wanted silencing a girl he doesn't even know for writing on a note is absolutely insane. Production then pulled every cast member aside, instructing us stopping any Diddy conversation for the show's duration. Diddy threatened bankrupting our television show and my girlfriend. We thought it ended there, right? Then Diddy's girlfriend got mentioned in a publicly released lawsuit. When this went down, Diddy's girlfriend happened fighting with another castmate. That castmate happened dating Jennifer Lopez's ex-boyfriend, Casper. The girl feared the other castmate would use this Diddy material against her during their fight. She decided calling guess who? Kevin Hart. At the time, none of us realized it was actually Kevin Hart until later. Kevin Hart called Casper and threatened him to ensure he controls his girlfriend on the show. Casper's girlfriend told everyone that Diddy's girl was also sleeping with Kevin Hart, who happens being married with children and best friends with Diddy. Kevin Hart clearly made the call to Casper, ensuring Diddy's girl stayed quiet about the affair they were having because, once again, he's married. Kind of weird that Diddy and Kevin Hart are both sleeping with the same girl and threatening our television show, isn't it? Listen, I'm just an ordinary blue-collar worker from Jersey who happens dating a famous model, which is how I got on the show initially. I'm not a social media star. I'm not famous. I have zero reason lying about any of this. The only reason I'm telling you this is because when I was in Hollywood filming this television show, I went through some disturbing, twisted experiences. Brace yourselves. Katt Williams just dropped another name, and it's massive. The next person he claims left America seeking low-key refuge. None other than legendary Oscar winner Leonardo DiCaprio. Remember that 73 Questions interview with Diddy, when he casually mentioned Leo's a VIP at his parties? Who's the person number 1 on that invitation list? Leonardo DiCaprio. Quote, well, breaking news suggests Leo essentially bounced to Italy. Italy's known for relaxed extradition laws compared to other European locations. DiCaprio's no stranger to Europe, certainly, but sources suggest this isn't some quick vacation flex. This could be a long-term relocation. Looks like Leo's got a plan, and it's materializing like a last-minute escape route from hungry federal agents connecting all the dots on Diddy. They're claiming Leonardo DiCaprio fled to Italy avoiding the P. Diddy debacle. Let me remind people of a clip now resurfacing from Diddy. Here it is. The White Party is returning this year, by the way, for charity. Great to hear. I'm sure that's probably not public information yet, but who's the person number 1 on that invitation list? Leonardo DiCaprio. Can I get on that list? Yes, without a doubt. You are invited. That is so generous. Cheers to that. See you at the white party. Leonardo DiCaprio's connection to the music industry continues following him. His history, particularly with Sean Diddy Combs. Despite being on vacation, fans still remind him of his ties to the entertainer and business executive. Although there are no allegations currently against DiCaprio, some social media users are still taking opportunities to troll for his association with Combs. There's a series of paparazzi snapshots of the actor in Italy with his girlfriend, calling it a family affair. The profile said the 49-year-old was joined by his mother, stepdad, and his lady's mom. It appears the Django star has been working overtime distancing himself from Combs over the last month, despite there being no evidence presented that he did anything wrong but had a legal good time. Reports claim he's doing everything possible to downplay his connection to Mr. Take That. The Leo-Diddy connection might not just be about the parties, because Diddy's empire isn't exactly built on clean cash. There's talk that his fortune could have ties to sources the United States government has already exposed, like the One Malaysia Development Burhead scandal. While there's no solid proof, rumors have long swirled that Leo used dirty money producing The Wolf of Wall Street, an allegation that helped him dodge federal agents 8 years ago. Now that federal agents are digging into Diddy's finances, the big question is, will Leo's past escape plan be enough keeping him out of the crossfire? Talk about dirty money. SFX, Cash Register, was Leonardo DiCaprio's film, The Wolf of Wall Street, financed with cash embezzled from Malaysian government Fund 1MDB. That's what United States federal investigators want knowing. Representatives of the Hollywood actor came out publicly Tuesday stating DiCaprio has been cooperating since July, as soon as allegations surfaced. DiCaprio is entangled primarily because of his personal and professional relationships with Malaysian financier JHO Low and Riza Aziz. The stepson of Malaysian Prime Minister, Aziz is head of Red Granite Pictures and came up with over $100 million needed getting DiCaprio's and director Martin Scorsese's film made. Money Global investigators now believe was diverted from 1MDB Low, and Aziz also gave DiCaprio a $600,000 birthday gift. Marlon Brando's 1955 Best Actor Oscar statuette for On the Waterfront. The men partied with DiCaprio at several lavish parties around the world. Lowe went on a $1 million gambling spree in Vegas with DiCaprio, bought a house very close to the actor's Los Angeles home, and allegedly used over $1 million of embezzled funds buying art from a charity sale the actor hosted at Christie's. The Justice Department is now in the process of seizing luxury real estate, artwork, and other assets purchased with allegedly stolen funds from 1MDB by a cast of characters, including Lowe, and has issued subpoenas to several Red Granite employees and a bank and accounting firm it used. The comments from DiCaprio's camp come after a rainforest charity, Switzerland's Bruno Manser Fund, called on the actor to explain his ties to the alleged fraud or step down from his United Nations position as messenger of peace for climate change. DiCaprio's spokesman says the actor is actively seeking to determine whether he or his charitable foundation had received any gifts or charitable donations directly or indirectly related to these parties, and if so, to return those gifts or donations as soon as possible. Saying he continues being entirely supportive of all efforts to assure justice is done in this matter, and is grateful for the lead and instruction of the government on how to accomplish this. Aziz and Red Granite deny any wrongdoing. The Malaysian Prime Minister also denies wrongdoing and has been cleared of any crime by the Malaysian Attorney General. Lowe has not commented on the allegations. A source close to DiCaprio says the actor and Lowe are no longer in contact. Hold up, another bombshell just dropped. CNN is reporting that Ellen DeGeneres has also left the country. And get this, she did it just days after Diddy's arrest. Now, we all know Ellen's been the queen of wild Hollywood parties and Diddy was practically a regular guest of honor. But now, people are side-eyeing their long history together, especially with Diddy's close ties to her show. He appeared there so frequently it almost looked like a safe space for him, far from any spotlight exposure. But despite their super close friendship, Diddy wasn't exactly tight-lipped. Zoom in, he let a few secrets slip on her show, hinting that their relationship was probably considerably more than just friendly. So, is Ellen making a run for it before the walls close in? This keeps getting weirder. Many have speculated that A-list celebrities who have spent time with Combs over the years could be getting subpoenas even as we speak. One of the biggest names now getting extra scrutiny is Ellen DeGeneres. Between 2006 and 2022, Combs appeared as a guest on DeGeneres' daytime talk show more than a dozen times. 17 times. I've been on the show 17 times. During his first appearance in 2006, Combs wasn't really shy about sharing private details. I'm definitely a nighttime person. What time do you stay up till? I stay up till like maybe 6 in the morning. I'm back up at like 10:30, 11. 6 in the morning? What do you do every night till 6 in the morning? You don't go to clubs every night. No, I mean, I make love a lot. That's my favorite answer ever. Many clips of his guest spots have resurfaced recently, including discussions between Combs and Ellen about his infamous parties. No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3, 2, 3. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel. And then it will carry on there. Yeah, the after party. No, I mean, I know about them. Years later, Combs said he wanted attending one of Ellen's parties. I have to arrive fashionably late. Not too late, though. Not too late. Not too late. Please. What time would you like me to? I'll tell you later. But not too late because once you get there, the party really starts. You know what I'm saying? I got you. I promise I'm not going to let you down on this big one. For real. Good. Your feet are going to have blisters. You're going to be dancing so hard. I can't wait. Now the two seem to kind of dance around the apparently open secret that Combs' parties were beyond wild, with reports of substances and multiple participants and more. As allegations against Combs have mounted, many have called his interviews with Ellen now creepy. So no money on you? I mean, it's just a little bit of money on me. Oh, you do have money on you. Lord have mercy. Where are you going after? It's all 20s. Where are you going after this? What are you doing? You know what? We doing what we plan to do, girl. But I have to be clear about something. There is a difference between a wild party and something that is criminal. There's a difference between having a great time and something that's an illegal freak-off. Having said that, remember when I told you about those freak-offs, right? Cassandra Ventura, as well as prosecutors, said in legal filings that people forced to participate would often have to get intravenous drips to recover from exhaustion and prolonged substance use. While in 2016, Combs appeared on stage with blue gauze around his arm and explained that he was just getting an intravenous drip backstage. He'd apparently arrived at the studio with it. They said that I would have to stay. I said no, I have to go. I said I could pull it out myself. So I walk in and I'm talking to Ellen. I have the IV and then the blood is going down. I start to panic. I go into the bathroom and I pulled it out myself and I just made it here and I love you. I love you too. Of course, the natural question is what was going on right before this tapping. To be very clear about something, Ellen DeGeneres has not been accused of anything. She is not listed in any one of the government's filings. SFX. Paper shuffle. The only reason we are talking about this now is because we are going back and looking at these old interviews, looking at these old comments, looking at these old interactions to see if potentially they could play a role in his criminal case. Ellen DeGeneres' show has been under fire for years over accusations of a toxic work environment. But the real firestorm came after the heartbreaking death of DJ Steven Twitch Boss just months after the show wrapped up in May 2022. While authorities ruled it self-inflicted, his friends and family were quick to raise eyebrows, pointing out that Twitch was a devoted husband and father to 3 young kids, hardly the type to end his life. Their doubts have only fueled the growing list of unsettling questions about Ellen's inner circle, adding yet another layer of mystery to the drama surrounding her. Now, as for Stephen Twitch Boss, he died on December 13th, 2022, and the official cause of death was ruled as a self-inflicted wound to the head. But even now, fans are still trying to wrap their heads around this tragedy, and a lot of them are still not buying the official story. I never really fully grasped how this happened, but I get, when it comes to people doing things to themselves because they're sick of existing, a lot of times they do kind of act like he was acting up until extremely positive, funny, cheery, like making videos, funny dance videos, and all types of things that just exuded positivity and happiness. But in all actuality, that is obviously a mask completely for him to do what he did. Here's what allegedly we know about Stephen's passing. On Monday, December 12th, he left his home on foot and checked into the Oak Tree Inn Motel in Encino, Los Angeles. Just a quick 15-minute stroll from the house he shared with his wife, Allison, and their 3 children. The next day, Allison freaked out when she saw that Twitch was gone while his car was still in its place, and she ran to the local police station, begging them to take Twitch's disappearance seriously. Allison told the police that something was off because Twitch never went anywhere without his car, and several officers followed Allison back to the house to look for clues about Twitch's whereabouts. But shortly after, the motel where Twitch had checked in the previous day called the police and said they found Twitch in the bathroom of his room. Despite the official ruling on the cause of death, fans had a tough time wrapping their heads around the idea that Twitch would do this, because he never once shared that he was struggling with anything. At least from the outside, he seemed like a genuinely happy person who adored his family. In fact, not too long before he passed, Twitch and Allison revealed that they were seriously considering adding another little one to the family. "Oh my God, do you miss having a newborn in the house? I sure do. No, I think we would love to start trying for another one. Oh yeah, wait, what? How you feel? Look, she says she missed it. Listen, kids are amazing once they actually are older and can speak. I would say 5 and up. Anything from 0 to 5 is completely miserable in your household. I mean, you can lie and say you like that, but you're wrong. It's terrible. Like, what is the point? Can we just fast forward?" I would love to fast forward kids to 5 years old at least. No, but we really do. I love the little bobbies. I love them. It's a constant conversation. Also, they celebrated their 9th wedding anniversary just 4 days before Twitch's tragic passing. Twitch shared this sweet tribute to Allison on Instagram. To be clear, just because someone looks happy from the outside doesn't mean that they're not struggling in private, and depressed people are often good at masking their symptoms, even in front of their loved ones. On the other hand, a lot of people felt something seemed off about the official narrative of Twitch's passing, especially the part about this mysterious note he left in the motel room. It was initially reported in the media that no note was found at the scene, but law enforcement sources later confirmed to TMZ that Twitch left a note in which he alluded to past challenges, but they didn't disclose what kind of challenges Twitch was referring to. Even with the note and the official autopsy report, many fans are still saying there's way too much fishy business surrounding Twitch's death. They're just not buying the idea that he would leave his family. Now that Ellen's friendship with Diddy is in the spotlight, some sources are speculating that Twitch was being blackmailed with something. Let me be clear. There is no proof that Twitch himself was close to Diddy or attended any of his parties. They checked around Twitch and Allison's home looking for any clues. But the 911 call from the motel had come in just shortly after Allison had contacted the cops. So that's how this all came together. The next celebrity Katt Williams is coming for, none other than billionaire mogul Oprah Winfrey. Yep, you heard that right. According to Katt, Oprah's squeaky clean, untouchable image might be hiding some real dirt. I will save that fight for another time because I really want to get your thoughts on Oprah. Devil, demon, destroyer. Villain, not a hero like many people see her. You think she's a villain? She's a supervillain. She's the biggest villain in the world. And yet, nobody will ask the most obvious question in the world. Are her and Gail getting married? It's clear she doesn't want to marry Stedman. Why don't her and Gail get married now? She went on that Olympic. It put her in the hospital. She almost had diarrhea herself to death. Stedman wasn't there at the hospital. Gail was crying for her friend. What's wrong with y'all people? I don't get it. I don't understand. I wish she would just come out the closet. She's really taking don't ask, don't tell too far, and she ain't never been in the military. She is a snake. Like there's no bigger snake than Oprah because I cover Michael Jackson. I'm curious your thought. I believe Michael Jackson's actually innocent. I'm doing a whole documentary. Although Michael Jackson is innocent, they targeted him, and for her to play in his face while he was alive, those boys to discredit him, and then her to bring it back right after he passed away. The way she did Luther Vandross when he passed away, the way she just exploited him laying in that bed. The way she does the way she's doing to Taraji P. Henson. I personally think she should be tried in the court of public opinion for what she's doing to Taraji, Fantasia. It's sad. Oprah used to be the face of compassion, helping millions find their voice, owning daytime television like a queen. But lately, people are starting to see her differently. Turns out she's been hanging with some of the most notorious names. Harvey Weinstein, John of God, Bill Cosby, and now Diddy. Let that marinate for a second. How many good people roll with that crew? For some, it's confirmation. Oprah's ties to these figures might not be random. Could she have been playing a deeper game in their shady world all along? SFX. Suspenseful sting. When some people think Oprah Winfrey, they think Harvey Weinstein because they have been linked together so often. First off, Oprah and Harvey have been friends for over 2 decades. A lot of people use the argument that she didn't know about what he was doing. But that's impossible because everyone's known about Harvey Weinstein's reputation ever since the 90s. If you don't know who Harvey Weinstein is, he is a major film producer who is pretty much the face of the Me Too movement because he was called out by a bunch of different actresses who he violated. When he was getting canceled and exposed for everything that he has done, Oprah allegedly called him and offered her support. Even though Oprah's team denies this, I believe it because Oprah has been close with Harvey, and she has showed him some sympathy over time. Even though he is a disgusting man and he deserves to rot in jail, I don't understand why Oprah wants to be best friends with someone like Harvey Weinstein. They had a very warm friendship and the photos show. Some people actually believe that Oprah convinced some actresses to hook up with Harvey Weinstein. Actually, Rose McGowan tweeted out, "I'm glad more people are seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't." Oprah has attempted to speak out on Harvey Weinstein, but she never really gets to the point, and you could tell that she's trying to protect him. Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't spoken yet publicly about what's going on. I think that I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, the silver lining. I think this is a watershed moment, and if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile. I've got to look the other way. I got to pretend he didn't say that. Of course, Oprah is trying to switch the narrative and make this about everyone else because it's not just Harvey. But we needed to talk about the bizarre contrast in Oprah's behavior when it comes to dealing with people like Harvey versus dealing with someone like Michael Jackson. In early 2019, there was a documentary created about Harvey Weinstein titled Untouchable. It premiered at Sundance, but it didn't get a lot of media attention. Of course, Oprah didn't bring any attention to that documentary. But when it comes to the documentary about Michael Jackson leaving Neverland, Oprah decided to go and promote that everywhere. Oprah decided to hold a special show after the airing of Leaving Neverland. She invited some of Michael Jackson's accusers to her show to interview them, but there wasn't any plan of her to invite any of Harvey Weinstein's victims to her show. So, it's interesting how she protects her friend Harvey Weinstein, and she decides to cover people like Michael Jackson. What's interesting about this is that Harvey Weinstein is a convicted criminal. We know that he did this. So, why isn't Oprah holding him accountable? Weird, right? Oprah was all about interviewing victims when it came to Michael Jackson, passionately speaking out about their experiences. But when Harvey Weinstein came into the picture, despite all the photos of them together, she barely said a word. For someone who insists he's not a friend, her silence speaks volumes. It almost seems like she's either protecting him or maybe protecting herself, scared that digging into his mess might expose some of her own. Honestly, the way she describes how assault happens, it's pretty off-putting. Watch this clip for yourself and see what I mean. You guys remember how I mentioned that Oprah did a special show after Michael Jackson's documentary? Well, there's a clip from that show that I want to play for you because it seems like Oprah is trying to justify bad behavior. This clip was actually pretty hard to find. I'm pretty sure Oprah's team is trying to bury it, but let's react to it. This clip may come off triggering, so viewers' discretion is advised. This is what so many people don't understand. A big part of the confusion and shame for child victims is that the attention and the seduction from the predator, who is probably going to be somebody you know, right? In order for it to work, it has to be somebody you know, somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone touches you, it feels good, right? Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. What does it mean that it felt good? What does that mean? One of the reasons it's so confusing for children, and when I first said this years ago, people were like, "You're crazy." Because everybody wants to believe it's like assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being violated. And I have said for years, if the seduction is any good, you won't even know it's happened. You will be in it and you won't even know it's happened. And if the seduction is any good, he or she is going to make you feel like you're a part of it. I guess I can see what point Oprah was trying to make there, but some of the words she chose are off-putting. It almost seems like she's degrading the significance of this trauma. Of course, she's out here exploiting Michael Jackson and his accusers because she's trying to put on a show. If she really cared about victims, then she would talk about other people, too, like her friend Harvey Weinstein. So, what do you think? Will the federal agents be waiting at the airport to handcuff these celebrities when they finally return? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button for wins of thought so you never miss out on any new content. Until then, fam, keep it real.